Welcome back to the Blurry Hour. I am Dogshit Camera, joined as always by the Slide Whistle. Here for another great episode of The Depression Chamber. That's right, folks. Have no fear. It's only been half a year, but The Depression Chamber is here. If I can talk, it might be rough. We'll give it a shot. I did record a script of a new monkey box this morning, and that was my warm-up of the day. Now let's see if I can read all the great scripts submitted by my wonderful fans and telling their tales of dealing with depression and other such things. What is up in the chat too, Mr. the Cuck Chicken, David, Loaded Fries Enjoyer, Wesser, Dave Yogurt Second. Sorry if my camera's glitching out today. I don't know how to fix that, and frankly, I don't know if I care. Probably fits. Broken camera for our broken hearts and broken souls in the Depression Chamber. Dave Yogurt II, welcome to the measly few. Becoming a member gets you up on that screen and all the new shit early, etc. What is up, Jedi Jared, Zeke, Lodge, Screw Top, Boong Hit 420, Old School Dave, True Moo, Bernhard Riemann, Evan, Seth looks sad. I'm surprised you're drinking water for this. Well, you guys know me too well. I've also got my coffee. You want to see the saddest thing of all? It might be the saddest thing you see on this podcast. I haven't even finished the cold one before I got the new warm one. Are you a real streamer if you don't have 3 drinks within reach? Gotta wet those whistles, folks. What should the one Mexican drink? For this, probably tequila, judging by your name and the depressing nature of the show. Marsted R, welcome to the measly few. It's great to have you. We are as measly and few as ever. What are we? Not even 3 minutes in? Okay, I was feeling bad that we didn't read its story yet, but people are still pulling in. It's not an Irish coffee. I've been sober of that sort of thing for, I don't even know. Mexican says I'm right. Okay, pop that tequila. What's up, Biggs? Biggs was recently cast for a role in Vincent's and our Atheist Reviews, which there are 3 scripts for ready. And once I finish the 4th, me and Aggie are going to film those in bulk, just because there's a lot of costumes and, stuff. And it's easier to film a whole bunch of stuff at once. So stay tuned for that. And a new monkey box next week. And the survival guides are coming out. And now we're doing this. My brother Patchy, member of the measly few for 11 months, posts the sigh emoji. Yes, one of the best parts of being a member. You get to use sigh in an emoji. What other channel gives you that privilege? The TV recursion is broken, too much light. Well, shitty camera today, shitty lighting. Let's get some shitty stories, folks. Will there be new survival guides? I think there might be. My focus right now is Vincent the Atheist and his shenanigans, but there just might be. What is Biggs gonna be? A bean bag? His initial character, he might be playing some sort of prison guard. No spoilers, though. No spoilers. I'm gonna do a poll for which story we want to start off with. We've got, let's see, scrolling through some of these titles here. I ruined everything in my life for Azerbaijan pussy. Azerbaijin, Azerbaijan pussy. Does Biggs touch the inmates? Yet to be seen. Azerbaijan pussy, that's option 1. My traumatic paranoia ruined my life. We've all been there. Traumatic Paranoia. Yes, I am aware of Christian. Some F slur from Australia. I don't. If he's using the F slur in the title, might have to do a lot of censoring for that one. My father killed his wife and himself. It had some positives. Okay. And one final one. One armed and homeless at 7. A homeless 7-year-old with one arm. And he says for real, not clickbait. Homeless at 7 with one arm. Okay. Azerbaijan pussy, traumatic paranoia. Father killed wife and self, or homeless at 7 with one arm. Let's see what the people want. Even though we're probably going to read all 4 tonight anyway. People immediately want that Azerbaijan pussy. 50%. But it's going down in favor of father killed wife and self. Nobody cares about his traumatic paranoia or the homeless child with one arm. I was going to pick that one, to be honest, but with 48%, I don't know if anybody's going to catch up to the Azerbaijan pussy. So let's go for it. How's my day so far? Just why? I've been working on the monkey box. And I said, you know what would be even less fun than this? Let's do the Depression Chamber. So I'm procrastinating working on that by doing something I should have done 6 months ago. Who won? Pussy? Okay. Where's this story? There it is. Okay. We got a good dozen or so big, thick paragraphs here, folks. Would you wear a Sonichu medallion made by Chris Chan? Steve Resurrected, I would not. I would not. My life is fucked enough. I don't need to ruin it anymore. Nothing good comes from that. Nothing. Homeless 7-year-old, nice try, Diddy. For all we know, that's what the story is about. Wouldn't that be nice to know? But no, we're reading about. I ruined everything in my life for Azerbaijan pussy. Hi, Simian Jimmy. You can refer to me as Borley. A prelude to destruction. This is my story about how I threw away my shitty marriage of 9 years to have an internet affair with an immigrant from Azerbaijan. Now, folks, I have no clue how I'm pronouncing this word. Assume that I'm wrong. I am 34 years old and have been in a relationship with Sheila for 9 years. We met in college when I was 24 and she was 18. I thought yikes, 24 in college and you're going after the freshman? What's going on, brother? I thought she was the perfect girl. She was a virgin, Christian, and had limited exposure to the darker side of the world and the internet. I pursued her harder than I have pursued anyone in my life, which included mild stalking. One time, I was in the library at school and I saw Sheila with some friends. This was before I knew her name, so I muted my earbuds and listened to them talking, hoping one of the friends would say her name. Then one of the friends said, "Goodbye, Sheila." I immediately began searching for her on Facebook and found her pretty easily. I sent her a message and she responded, though she eventually stopped responding. I sent her a follow-up regarding her not responding, and she apologized profusely for not responding. After she apologized, I thought she must be such a kind-hearted person who doesn't want to hurt people. We got married after dating for 2 years due to her parents not wanting us to live in the same building without being married. Ironically, we had been having sex, which is what the parents were actually concerned about us doing before marriage. Sheila's mom is a 300-plus pound ham planet that spends all of her time and energy criticizing other people while being the single most miserable woman alive. On 3 occasions, I came over to talk to Sheila's family about their shitty behavior or just giving them advice on putting their son into public school, since keeping a kid in online school can make them socially autistic. The meaning I hope you can take from this is that I have put myself out there for Sheila and have always protected her, cared for her, and worked to foster her own growth. Despite the effort I gave and care I showed, Sheila refused to seek therapy and work on her emotional growth. For the entire duration of our relationship, I have had to do all the emotional labor. For example, when we have a minor communication issue and I repeatedly try to understand what she was saying, she will give me the fluoride stare. For years, her lack of reciprocity, that's probably a word I should know how to pronounce, and emotional warmth brought me to a rage. It would only be after I became so upset that she would show any emotion or attempt to understand at all. We were close to divorcing in fall of 2023, but recovered our relationship. During that period, she left to spend the night at a friend's house due to not feeling safe with me. I have homicidal ideation and often will go on rants about wanting to kill bad drivers, political groups I don't like, or any other type of person I don't like. Did Aggie submit this one? That sounds like somebody I know. Sounds like me a little bit too. I developed homicidal ideation due to being sexually abused by my mother for years. I take it back. Me and Aggie are in the clear for this one. I don't think it's either of us. I would fantasize about killing her or myself and how gratifying that would feel. I did not realize what she was doing was sexual abuse since I was around age 8, and this occurred until age 12 at least. My parents would fight constantly, and when they fought, my mom would sleep in my bed. My mom would wait until I fell asleep before she began molesting me and doing things. Eventually, I developed a horrible sleeping problem that persists to this day. My mom would become frustrated when I didn't fall asleep and would storm out of the bedroom. I thought I did something wrong, but it was because she couldn't take advantage of me while I was awake. That's enough backstory. On to the show. Okay, that's all the prologue. We're on to chapter 1. That one Mexican in the chat confirms he's not touching himself to this, probably for the best on any of these stories. Don't know why you needed to even let us know. It's kind of taking that one for granted. Chapter 1, A Girl by Any Other Name. For fun, I used to find low-view Twitch streams and chat with the viewers. Oftentimes, low-view streamers have low views because their stream setups are hot garbage. Hey, look at us. We got over 100. Hey, we got 3 digits and my camera doesn't even fucking work. Anyway, in mid-August, I came across a Twitch streamer named Rakiul who had about 6 viewers. She played Roblox with her friends, but I mentioned R. Kelly's Trapped in the Closet during her stream, and she ditched her friends to stream the entire 36-chapter multi-hour operatic saga of Trapped in the Closet with really only me chatting. Afterwards, I joined her streamer Discord server and messaged her about the experience. Almost immediately, we matched each other's energy, vibed really well, and have incredibly deep and reciprocating conversations. She asks a lot of personal questions, often with disclaimers that I don't have to answer. I tell her I'm a therapist, and she immediately asks if I take her insurance. This leads us to talking about her suspected mental health issues. She believes that she has schizophrenia since her mom had schizophrenia. Her mom also abused her and almost killed her until she told the school counselor that if she goes home, she is going to die, so they arrested her mom that very day. While talking about therapy and mental health symptoms, I comfort her when I can, and she begins using pet names for me like King and Babe. I didn't think much of this at first, since she uses King for almost everyone in her stream. Our relationship continues with both of us getting to know each other, and each step in that process reveals more trauma, and we both share deep psychological thoughts regarding life. She reveals that her dad is the best man in her life, but also lets slip that she is better now that she isn't being cursed at and beaten daily. As we talk, she is constantly praising me, complimenting me, and providing the most sincere, heartfelt, and humorous responses I've ever read. The first time anything sexual came up between us was when she mentioned that her cat's nipple stomp her boobs and that she has nipple piercings. This was within the first 4 days of chatting on Discord, so I responded autistically rather than showing interest in her nipples. She tells me that the cats jump on her nipples for her to feed them salmon slop. I tell her at least that's better than goy slop. This causes her to immediately ask if I know what the numbers 88 mean. I ask her, Hail Hitler? Then I continue to say, like 1488, the 14 words about preserving the white race in the era of colonization. I ask if she is a crypto-Nazi, but she doesn't know what crypto is. For some people, that's the best answer to that question. Crypto-Nazi? What's crypto? She tells me she heard on TikTok that if anyone says goy slop, that they are a Nazi, and she was worried that I was a Nazi. Eventually, I tell her I've been on 4chan since I was 14, and she says she blames 4chan for my knowledge of racist dog whistles. Seth says, I'm certainly not a crypto one. That's right. Aren't a Nazi at all, to be honest, but... who listens to our One Piece podcast? We've been talking about that on there. And by the way, Mumkey D. Jones YouTube channel, if you want to read through all of One Piece with me and Aggie. I'm supposed to shout that out more often because people don't know it exists, according to the comments. Chapter 2, The Princess and Her Daddy. Oh, man. Can we skip chapter 2? Eventually, I buy her a game and we play together on stream. I thought it said on Steam. No, on stream. I can tell something is off. At this point, I know she has a boyfriend, as she has mentioned him in passing, but generally negative. During our stream together, she mutes her mic to talk to someone off-screen who I assume is her boyfriend. I thought he was jealous that she was playing this game with the guy that bought the game for her. After stream, I ask her, I feel like I need to ask, do you feel safe at home? She answers, I can't say yes and I can't say no. This causes us to have a very long text conversation regarding her situation with her emotionally abusive boyfriend who she financially depends on. Things become very confusing and she says we need to call and explain things. During this, I tell her how she is coping so hard and tolerating truly unacceptable behavior for any kind of relationship. She says she appreciates the guidance and we continue being friends. I send her a meme image of a restaurant receipt that says, beautiful nipples, princess, and I begin to call her princess as a joke. After some time, she reveals that she has a praise kink and that she loves being called princess. I make a joke that I am a soft Michelin man, but also a hard dom daddy. So... we're dealing with a fat guy here then? Fat dom daddy? Okay. I lost my spot and I don't even want to find it. We could just stop this one here if we need to. This story is my 13th reason why. This is just smut. Yeah, I get that you feel guilty about cheating on your wife, but I don't need to hear your romantic encounters with some bitch. I don't care. We struggle to find a pet name for her to use for me. I tell her she needs to find a more unique name for me since she calls everyone king. Eventually, I pressure her enough to reveal that she wants to call me daddy because her dad is the best man she's ever known, and calling me daddy puts me at a higher position to her, and that makes her feel tingly. Initially, I was not into any kind of parent roleplay stuff since I thought that was gross, but I came around to it. Bro, after your mom? What do you mean you came around to it? No! At this point, I'm teasing her with the word princess, and she says she's gooning all over at work and has to change her underwear since she got so pricked up when I called her princess. This is smut! I need to start submitting these to ChatGPT and say, tell me if this is just porn, so I don't read it to my stream. Fetishize this trauma, literally. It's always been the retard chamber. I guess this is just the socially acceptable name of the show. She got bricked up. Good question. The author's poorly disguised fetish. Wow, Toot, member for 16 months. Hey, Mumkey, it's been a long time since I messaged. How are you? Peter Bag's Hate is the most Kino comic ever. Must advertise this. Go check out Peter Bag's Hate, whatever that means. And Toot, hey, thanks for being a member so long. And I'm doing good. I was doing better before I read this story. But now we're on chapter 3, the affair. And while I'm reading chapter 3, just to gauge the audience, we'll see if we want to skip this one. Keep in mind, you guys voted for this. If we get a good majority on yes, skip, we will not learn more about this affair. Chapter 3, the affair. We had been having a clearly emotional affair up to this point, but I decided to see if I could get her to sext with me. I tell her on Discord, while she is at work, I'm going to write you a message that you aren't to read until after work. It is a treat for you, but you must obey. It's at 50-50 in the poll. You guys can't be fucking... Somebody is masturbating to this now. Like, maybe they zoned out on the mom paragraph. Most people want me to keep going, so fuck it. Okay. She gets super horny and theorizes what's in the spoiler text message on Discord. My wife is at a doubleheader for baseball, so I have the entire night to mess around with Raquel. We finally connect at 8 p.m. due to my job keeping me out late, and I tell her I want to admit to truly embarrassing things, which she begins to in a cutesy manner. She asks what I want, and I tell her I want her to send me a picture of her chest and face. She immediately goes, "Sir, that could ruin me," and makes a "this is a Wendy's" joke. I tell her I thought this was Burger King where I have to get it my way. Then she sends me a video of her in the shower, face and topless. I ask her what she wants, and she says cum shots. Previously, she had revealed that she loves being cream pied. Where's the sad part? Where's the sad part? Chapter 4, The Reckoning. Once I get to cream pied, I'm skipping the paragraph. The next day, Raquel tells me that she is deeply ashamed of what we did and that she wants to not do that kind of stuff anymore. I tell her that's fine, that we can be friends. She reveals that she never sends pics before and that she didn't like it. She reveals that even though she hates her boyfriend, she is trapped. Somehow the conversation becomes confused. She says this is feeling like a breakup. Is that your intention? I tell her, isn't that what you're doing? Then she goes, oh, what the fuck, and suggests we call since clearly something is wrong. We call, but it isn't good. She says she can't leave her boyfriend due to financial dependence, and I say I would financially support her through that if that happened. This surprises her, and oh, really, that surprised her. That's what she was fishing for the entire fucking time! This surprises her. We talk about finances a bit. She requests we purge the Discord chat so her boyfriend can't find our message logs. We had 5,500 messages total sent over 3 weeks. I sent 2,600 messages. We were very intensely communicating. As we purge things with a Chrome extension, I tell her that I am utterly in love with her and that she is a princess in every sense of the word. Except for literally, where's her father? That's a king, you stupid fuck! She confesses that she loves me too and that I've changed her life. Chapter 5, Restarting. At this point, I'm frustrated. I reached out to my friend Daryl and we talked the next day. I tell Daryl that I'm divorcing Sheila and that I had an affair. Daryl listens to the entire story and provides some meaningful support. I felt like Daryl was the one friend I could tell, since Daryl is the only person I've ever told that I basically forced my first GF to have sex with me, which is something I'm deeply regretful for. Well, now you've told all of us that you raped a child. Come on! Okay. I lost my spot again. My first GF did not seem to regret it, but I was pushy with us doing it, and I hate that I hurt someone who only showed me compassion and kindness at a time when I needed it most. Daryl told me this phrase, which I struggle to remember properly, something like, a divorce isn't the end of a friendship, just a relationship that didn't work. Which is true. Despite everything I know, Sheila loves me and wants me to be happy. Even if it's with another woman, that's a cope. Later, that same day, I asked Sheila to go on a walk, and I tell her things in our relationship are not getting better and that I think we need to divorce. It's a difficult conversation, and we both tear up periodically about it. Even later that night, I'm talking with Raquel, and she begins saying how she is so happy in her life, her job, and with her boyfriend that she couldn't ask for more. She goes on to say how sometimes she dreams about leaving in the middle of the night, or how she struggles for a long time, then begins to plot her escape. She was clearly sending me a coded message that she is working on getting out of her situation. I ask her the next day if we can have a private call to discuss things regarding our relationship. We basically pretend to meet each other for the first time on Discord and somehow managed to replicate the same conversations we had the first time. Snare Flare for 2 says, I have a joke for you. Ricky Berwick's hairline. Now, do I remember who Ricky Berwick is? Because if I do, he might have more issues than his hair. But I might have the wrong guy in mind. I don't know why the hell this guy said that. But thank you, Snare Flare. I'm glad I lost my spot in this story. This isn't about an Eve relationship that broke up a real relationship. Yes, it is. Eventually she has a bad day with her boyfriend. Her BF was fixing her friend's car and didn't tell her, and she got jealous and told him that she wanted him to tell her what he was doing. You want to be with somebody who acts like that? That you're ruining your relationship with your wife for this bitch? She needs to know where you are 24/7 like a tracker? I don't think so. This caused him to threaten to leave her. When she told me later, I asked if she begged him to stay, and she said, no, I'm never begging again. I told her I was proud of her because if she begged him, I would have blocked her. After this, she deletes the chat again between us, and I do the same. I asked her not to, but she did not see that message. We should have done armless 8-year-old. That's what I voted for, Evan. I tried. Yes, many red flags from this woman. And we'll end the poll with 53% saying they want to see this one to the end. Chapter 6, Descent into Madness. After the first purge of our DMs, I started a group chat where I could invite her and we could chat freely without any trace of her being caught by her BF since she can leave the group chat. I began typing stories and things to her in an attempt to get back lost time. Eventually, it gets to the point where she has to give me a response because we both break down the facade again and she rants about her BF being shitty, and I lose my composure and say this fake friendliness is really hard. I invite her to the group chat and she reads all of it and responds. Oh, wait, so you made a group chat alone, typed up like 1,000 paragraphs of insanity and then invited her in? You guys are both red flags. I mean, I guess that was obvious from everything you've said about yourself so far, but I invite her to the group chat and she reads all of it and responds. She tells me that I'm the best person to come into her life, but that she can't upend her life for me because she has friends, family, a grandmother she cares for, and financial dependence, as well as other things she hasn't told me, anchoring her in her state. But she told me this twice now. She has vaguely mentioned some goal but never said what it was. She tells me she wants to befriend, but understands that if it's too hard for me that we can go our separate ways. She has a channel point reward on her Twitch about sending thing if you get enough points. I got enough points and she was supposed to send me something, but our relationship is so fucked I tell her she doesn't have to because I wanted that to be a fun event for us. She writes that she will still send it and that she will make it fun for us. She tells me, I don't mean to tempt you, but I have something special for you. I figured she was going to include some pictures or horny content for me. At this point, we still have not had a private call where we can discuss our relationship. I really just want to find out if she wants to be with me in the future and talk about how we could figure that out. She said in so many ways how I was her dream man, her ideal man, that she would drive to me the moment her boyfriend leaves her, and that she would go to be if anything in her life got fucked up. I thought she wanted to be with me, and I was willing to do anything to make that a reality. Chapter 7. A brief, is this respite? I always said respite, but I think that's wrong. A brief respite before pure suffering. After I receive Raquel's response to my insane ramblings, at least he has self-awareness, I'll give him that. I tell her in DMs that we can be friends. This goes well for a bit as we have a lot of fun talking again. I tell her a story about how I took down a girl at my college who had a bipolar disorder and that was ruining my college gamer club. This story is insane and it involves the BPD girl plotting to kill her boyfriend and having no condom sex in the woods with another member of the club. She really liked this story and told her, and She really liked this story, told her and said that I write like one of her favorite authors. I always feel really inspired writing to her, so I think my prose probably was much better than normal. She tells me that she will never run out of things to compliment me about and that I should ask if I ever need one. I tell her that when I ask, she won't know. She says this is wrong and that she wants to know. I tell her she is right and that I regret thinking that way. I tell her I'll change that behavior and she cheers me on. Eventually, I confess that I am upset that she purged the chat again and that she still hasn't found a time for us to talk privately without her BF being at home. This causes her to freak out, and at first she apologizes and tells me she is doing everything she can and that she is sorry it's not enough. She says she knows why this hurts and it's hurting her too. I fuck this up and she eventually goes, Jesus Christ, I was not expecting to have to go through this. I'm imploding. I don't want to continue to hurt you out of my love for you. If we need to separate to stop the progression of this and be how we once were, two friends who enjoyed their company, then we need to do that. I don't mean for you to feel bad. I don't want anyone I care for to ever hurt, especially because of me. I can't handle it. I tell her I'm sorry and that I'm emotionally unwell due to my shitty marriage, which was true. She goes, I need to think about this and sleep on it. At this point, the danger talking to you imposes on me outweighs the heavenly benefits. I'm not in a place where my life can be turned upside down for another person. After this, we talk for about 4 days and have a lot of fun. Then on Saturday, we have our private call. Sage in the chat says, dude, women fucking suck. This actually sucks, dude. Everything involved. The story sucks. Both of the characters suck. The narrator sucks. It's a really sucky last 22 minutes of my life, if I'm gonna be honest with you. I could barely even speak. Chapter 8. I do not deserve happiness. I go to my work office to talk with Raquel. I basically give her speech about how I think our relationship is special and that her situation is similar to my own when I was 24. I forget if I mentioned this, but we were born on the same day at the same time, 10 years apart. I'm gonna have to do... That's some quick maths, as the British might say. How old was he when this started? Many things in our lives match up in a weird way that I began to call cosmic convergence. She identified most of these things through our own questioning. During the call, I try and ask if she wants to be together in the future, and she gives me vague answers about not being able to think that far and needing to focus on her current situation. I ask her if we can do the things she asked, like watch a movie and play games with just us. She at first said yes, but then said she had to think about it. At this point, I ask her what she is considering, but she won't say. I ask if she is considering not talking to me anymore, and she goes, yeah. This goes back and forth for about 2 hours with me needing to fill in the gaps in what she's thinking. I keep trying to tear down the barriers to a relationship between us, and she eventually said she's going to get deported because her bio mom stole $1 million from a bank she worked at. Plot twist. She mentioned being suicidal, and I asked if she would kill herself after this, which she said yes. Happy ending! Yeah! Get it, please end it there! Yes! Please! No, it keeps going. It keeps going. She said many contradictory things during this conversation, like that she had a plan if she got deported, that you shouldn't think about us as a potential relationship for from 5 to 10 years, and other future-oriented things, but now she's going to kill herself after I ask. Brother, this sounds extremely made up to me. And I don't mean like the story, I mean she's lying to you. Since she says she's going to kill herself, I asked if she was going to put any horny content in her letter for me. Ah! No! You can't ask the suicidal girl for nudes. Before you do it, please, one Polaroid. Come on. Based simp, name the price. You can't take it with you, brother. Well, not where she's going. Which is hell. I ask, since she is going to kill herself, to take some pics for me so I can use my tears as lube after she's dead. Well, at least he tried to make it funny. But I think we see through the joke. He's pretty serious. She laughs hysterically and agrees to this. Well, if it worked, you know what? Joke's on the rest of us. Who jerks off to dead people? I mean, I guess once Jane Goodall passes. Has she? Has that bitch passed? I don't even know. Not bitch. She's a wonderful woman. Let me know in the chat if she's alive. I attempt to push my luck and ask her, since she's going to kill herself, if she wants to meet up and have sex. She says no. I downgrade it to just meeting up, but she says that would only make it harder. I have to keep asking what she's going to do regarding cutting contact. She says she would probably block me, which I have to plead with her not block me because that would hurt too much. Nope, she's dead. She's alive. Stop lying. Wikipedia says she's alive at 90. Ah, hey. Okay. Jane Goodall is alive. Thank you, Salty Shackle. So you're saying there's a chance? Is there a chance that he's gonna fuck this lady, though? Let's find out. I have to keep blah, blah, blah. She says if I blah, blah, blah. Okay. She says I can expect her letter and maybe another letter on our birthday 9 months from now. She hangs up after talking for 3 hours. I was so fucked up I began disassociating. Dissociated. Yeah, you know the word. And I couldn't hear what my wife was telling me about lunch. Wow, he's having like you got mustard on your thing, like the Walter White moment. He's just fucking the buzzing of a big explosion from a grenade. Because his wife, who said my mom's getting deported for robbing the bank and I'm gonna kill myself. He's just stunned while his wife's just nagging about lunch. I think we might need to bring this scene specifically to life because it's almost cinematic in my mind, the way this is playing out right now. I eventually confessed to her about the affair. The first thing Sheila says after I'm done with the story is, I hope you two are able to work it out. Ugh. Sheila is upset, but she also expresses positive sentiments regarding our divorce. I was happy to hear you had someone. I don't want you to be alone. That's fucking horrible. Sheila is still struggling with her emotions regarding our divorce, and she is mad at me, but deep down she loves me and wants me to be happy. I love Sheila too and will always be there for her, but she is not the person for me, and it took 9 years to realize that. Sheila, a cuck queen? I think a cuck queen is somebody who genuinely has to enjoy it and want it. I think this is like, if anything, she's saying the most damaging, hurtful thing possible is like, oh yeah, well, I don't even care. Like, she's coping, trying to hurt him. And I don't think I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, isn't that what you say when you want to hurt them back? It's like, well, yeah, I'm fine not being with you. I hope you guys are happy. Supreme Leader Admiral Alexander says, I can't believe Florian did this to his Azerbaijani Discord kitten. I don't know if Florian was ever married. Did you know you have rights? The Constitution says you do. That's right. I've got a mug with all the initials of that whole statement. Chapter 9. Hopefully last chapter. Okay, it is. Fact-finding mission. The final call with Raquel didn't sit right with me because she was so cold and was seemingly contradicting many of her past statements. It is true, she said she needed us to return to being friends because our relationship could ruin her life, and I understood that statement as an opportunity for me to fix her problems, which was wrong since she never asked for help and implicitly turned down help. I go back in our chat, in our saved chat logs I have, and she wrote, I became a citizen in 2010 when my mom became naturalized. I moved to the USA in 2001. In her call, she said she was only a permanent resident and that she would get deported since her mom was going to federal prison, and that she never became a citizen. On another occasion, she said she was voting for Jill Stein, which permanent residents cannot vote. I also find out who her boyfriend is in her Twitch chat and her Discord. I obviously could ruin her life with what I have, but would never do that. I love her even if she lied to me. How I understand the situation is that she realized I was never going to accept no for an answer, and that she had to come up with an excuse for why we couldn't be together so that I wouldn't keep putting her life in danger by having us together with me being crazy about us getting together. I hope that is the truth and she isn't so mentally ill that she just had a fling with me and threw me away. Now, interesting lie for a Twitch streamer to have. Being deported and committing suicide. It's rough because if you're going to continue Twitch streaming in the future, I don't know if the recipient of the lie is necessarily going to fall for it. You kind of have to ghost the internet at that point. I'm still waiting to receive her letter with the nudes and her heartfelt message. I plan on messaging her on Discord after I receive her letter, telling her that I am rational now, that I no longer want to force her to accept my help, and that I want to be her friend, and that I can do that, but no hurt in my heart. I fear that it's too late and that she's too in love with me as I am with her for her to accept my statement as truth. She may block me, but I hope she would believe me. I have no messaged her for 5 days, and it will be a week on this Saturday. She has begun to type strange conspiracies in her streamer Discord and has talked about needing 2 years of pay stubs for the bank. Is she getting a mortgage? And she mentioned going back to school for IT or engineering. She already has at least 2 bachelor's degrees, which is wild to me. She's done more college than me, and I have a master's. Mumkey, this is the end. During this relationship I saw the TV glow, and in so many ways I felt like that stupid black kid who had another half of himself somewhere out there trying to reunite. But this time I desperately wanted to reunite with that person, and they were not able to due to circumstances they won't let me help solve. It's probably fucking crazy to offer $800 a month in financial assistance to a girl you only knew for 4 weeks. But I have never had a connection like this to anyone on this gay earth. I hope this story brings some joy to people, and my greatest hope is to gain some insight into how badly I fucked this up. I wish I could still talk to her. I would give anything. I would change anything. I have made myself utterly pathetic for this person. And that, thankfully, is finally the end of that story. I've ruined everything in my life for Azerbaijan pussy. Those of us who joined us in the last 35 minutes, we were only on story 1. And it was mostly pornographic. But hopefully the next one will move on. We need to do some polls here, folks. Do we hate this author? And do we have any advice? My advice would be a 4-week relationship. You're still in the honeymoon phase. It happens in almost every relationship. You're only having the idealized version of them in your mind. You're both trying to present yourselves in the most lovable way possible. As soon as you met this lady in real life and spent more than 48 hours in a house with her, you'd be about as over with her as you are with your wife. It's it's just not worth it, buddy. This lady sounds crazy as it is. You just might have to be single for a while. Yeah, you're welcome, Sean. Anti-Piracy League, I'll give you permission. You can upload all my Elliot Rodger videos and monetize them completely. You can have them. I give the copyright specifically to you. Liquid Dave wants to know for $5, can I give a shout out to Yo Daniel Lawson? How's it going in prison, my brother? Is he still locked up? I don't know. Salty Shackle for $2. Are you still going to review the art contest? Which one? The one for One Piece? Because we do review those on that podcast. Coming up. If there's another ongoing art contest, I'm not aware of it because there's probably no submissions for it, but I agree. Hashtag free Daniel Larson. I did an art contest last year, but I don't know what it is. So Salty, you probably won if you submitted something. Let's find a new story. We wanted to hear about a little homeless child with only one arm. Okay. No more voting. I need a real story now to get my spirits up. Will I ever make a video talking about the triflers? Yes, I will. Definitely. Cake Jerry. Okay, one-armed and homeless at 7 for real, not clickbait. Hey, Mumkey, my name is Oliver, and this is the tale of how I went homeless at 7. Is this the plot of Oliver Twist, motherfucker? If ChatGPT tells me Oliver Twist has one arm, I'm ending the stream. Did Oliver Twist have one arm? Okay, he had both arms. You might be thinking of another character like Johnny Tremaine or the Artful Dodger. Good to know. I was about to be pissed. I was born with a rare genetic defect which caused me to be born without a left arm. This has caused countless, useless in the long run, social issues and anxieties for me throughout my life. But I learned to get along for the most part. However, I wasn't ready for when my family was forced into the streets by an apartment fire. I was 7, it was Christmas, and I was staying at a friend's house when I was woken up by my mom calling to let me know before I saw the news that our apartment complex burned down. We had basically lost everything, and it was due to some malignant neighbors who had a habit of starting trash fires under our window. We once had a blowout fight with these neighbors where I tackled a fat woman down a flight of stairs for pushing my dad down them seconds before. She faked a seizure when EMS arrived. You tackled a fat woman down the stairs at age 7. I couldn't really find my footing for a few years. It's hard to describe the sort of sorrow I felt. My 7-year-old mind unable to really understand the sadness and horror swimming around inside. We didn't recover until I was 18 or 19. With us couch surfing or mooching off family friends for places to stay while we tried to collectively find the funds to rebuild our lives. I basically had no choice to even have a social life. I was the stinky kid, the poor kid, all those sort of things throughout high school. The one-armed kid, probably. I mean, I would just assume you can't really soap up that well. But, I accidentally broke a desk once, and that caused an uproar of laughter in the class, which pushed me to throw a punch at the nearest person laughing. I ended up in a sort of long-term half-detention, half-special ed class where I saw a tiny lesbian girl fly across a desk and claw a dude's eyes. Never saw her again after that, and the dude needed to get glasses. Oh my god. I was known by a pretty rough nickname, which was Gimps. That's not bad. You know, back in middle school, the older kids, they love this one. I'd put my, would it be good for this one? Put my arm out like this. And they called me Nubs. And I walk around, what's up? And they'd hit the nub. So I can relate to this story big time. Me and Oliver are two nubs and gimps in a pod. It had gotten to the point where even teachers accidentally called me it. Well, no teacher ever called me Nubs, I don't think. Can't say it was all bad. My first girlfriend came up with it. It was a joke nickname she thought up after I laughed and called her Glitter Tits when she got into a fight with a preppy girl who poured a thing of glitter down her shirt. I guess it's hard to call this a depression chamber story because in the end I made it and I got to leave the state and create a fake life in college, where I graduated and was able to put my life together. And that is the end of One-Armed and Homeless. Would have loved more details about being homeless and the difficulties of only having one arm. Don't know how you can lasso those rats for dinner in the back streets. Would have been nice to know, but that is that story. Previous story, 93% of us hated that author. How do we feel about the One-Armed Bandit over here? Do we hate Nubs? That's my name, but fuck it. Do we hate him? Go ahead and say yes if you hate me as well. The itty bitty glitty committee. Celine, I agree. That was completely pointless. I mean, you're not wrong. Nubs was cool. Okay, it's about 50-50 on if we hate him. Okay, we'll do another poll for the next story. What if you hate one but not the other? Then that's an impossible poll. Probably better not to participate. Okay, read next. Logan J, he gets right to the point. Why I hate women. Okay, I think I know what's gonna win. My AI gay furry porn killed someone? Okay. Might be a closer vote than I thought. Think we might have heard that one? Yeah, it's probably a common theme. Confessions of a Femboy. That's a guaranteed single-digit performer in the poll. And Salvia-esque Dream. Okay. Don't smoke the purple shit, folks. There's the poll. What do the people want? These are all toot stories. Well, AI porn killed someone. Furry porn, of course. That takes the lead at 45%, but close behind at 38% is Why I Hate Women. Salvia-esque Dream 0. Out of 70 votes, not one person gave a fuck about that. And to be fair, these are much better ones. Femboy actually got 18%. It's still very close, but I think AI furry porn is going to take it. Because pretty much, I guess half the people here have voted. Okay, we're doing that one. Let's hope it's a real story, because I mean, I can't imagine how it could be, but let's see how creative their mind gets. My AI gay furry porn killed someone. So I just want to get this clear. I am not gay or a furry. I'm glad this anonymous sender is clarifying, because we all really cared. I know the title seems absurd, but I promise it'll make sense. This started about a year ago when I was working a dreadful fast food job. I remember watching a YouTube video about some deranged furry who spent thousands of dollars on furry commissions. I thought it was absurd that people would spend so much money on smut when there's already an infinite amount of it online for free. True, you could just watch The Depression Chamber, story number 1. Plenty of free smut. I then realized that it would probably be very easy to cash in on their obsession with animal sex. Now, I'm by no means an artist, but I remember that around this time, Twitter artists were crying online about how AI would never replace the quality artwork made by humans. They really pissed me off because 90% of the people complaining had some of the shittiest artwork I've ever seen. I followed some tutorials online and installed Stable Diffusion on my gaming PC. I tried to make art, but my first attempts were pretty bad. I then found a Telegram group of furries sharing tips and tricks to get the best art possible. And sure enough, those tips worked. I was making halfway decent art in seconds. Now, it wasn't great, but I've seen how ugly some furry artwork is. As long as it features their disgusting fetishes, they will gobble it up. I made an account on the furry platforms to advertise my commission services. Paying somebody commission to make AI art for you. That's rough. I was offering people a commissioned artwork for $100. I could have probably asked for more, but I didn't feel right about it since it only takes me 5 minutes to make a piece of art. You don't feel right about it? The whole thing is a scam. You should feel great. Steal their money. Come on. Of course, you're scamming them no matter how long it fucking takes. Unfortunately, my account got banned because the main furry sites have strict rules against AI art. Yeah, well, that's probably for the best. I wondered how they were able to figure it out that it was AI until I realized that the artwork I was generating had subtle blemishes and artifacting that gave it away. So what did I do? I put the photos in Photoshop and fixed the issues in about 5 minutes. Now, that I'll say maybe that's not a scam. Now, you're putting in a human touch to make it unique from the AI art. I'd let that slide. Fuck it. Good enough for me. I made a new account and new artwork, and suddenly I have no issues and have lots of furries complimenting me on my great artwork. 300 IQ, man did his homework. Respect the grind. Rock bottom gooning. It took some time, but I finally started to get commission requests, and let me tell you, the commissions were pretty retarded. Furries have a pretty limited options for making their own original characters since they all have the same animals to choose from. So what they do is give their fursona a bright color palette or some gay-ass hairstyle to make it stand out. I don't think I've ever seen a good fursona that had a different color than the animal's natural color. But hey, whatever, it's just a job. Someone sends me the commission and pays me their money. I spend about a total of 10 minutes generating it and photoshopping it. Then I send it to them in a scheduled email that waits 5 to 7 days before sending it to them, so it looks like I worked real hard on it. Folks, 350 IQ here. He's giving us the tips and tricks. Oh, God, make a tutorial video. Let's see, where were we? Fucking scheduling the email is diabolical. Then 9 times out of 10 they love it and promise to recommend me to all of their friends. At first I was charging $100 for safe for work artwork that had no nudity and $150 for artwork with nudity. I then got a message from someone who asked me to make disgusting art of their fursona being morbidly obese and swallowing another one whole. I would have declined, but they offered me $500 since it was fetish content. Now, I'm not gay, but $500 is $500, so I made their artwork and sent it to them. And they loved it. Little did I know that taking that commission would be one of the worst decisions of my life. Okay, with that done, I'll read the super chat from Mega Lag. $10. I already know enough femboys. Why do I need more confessions? You hear I have no father so many times that anything new is meh. The man knows his femboys, folks. Thank you, Mega Lag, for the $10. The guy whose inflation art I made posted it onto their furry account and tagged me in it. They were a reasonably popular figure in that aspect of the furry fandom, so it got me a lot of new commissions. One of them from a guy I'm going to call Benny. Benny was pretty new to the furry fandom, and I'm 70% sure they are on the spectrum. Yeah, you could be 100 on that one. I found a YouTube channel with his furry name on it, which contained IRL videos of him documenting his life and his feelings. He didn't show his face, but it was pretty easy to get a picture in your head. Benny commissioned me an artwork of him getting vored by a dragon. Is vor the one when you eat something and it's still alive? So he's getting eaten by a dragon here. I believe. I was his first commission, so he didn't have a fursona yet. All he told me was that he wanted to be an orange wolf with green hair. He was only able to offer $150, but I figured I'd be nice and let him have it for a cheaper price. And also because I literally have no reason to turn down money. So I make his commission and tell him I made him a special deal because he's new to the fandom. I even put a gay-ass message at the end of it, something like, "Hi, pause, and hugs." That message opened up the floodgates as he suddenly sends me a 4-paragraph essay about how much it means to him and thanking me for being so nice to him. And to be honest, it caught me off guard. He talks about how his parents would never accept him. He said that maybe he could get away with being gay, but a furry would have them disown him. Even though I despised the furry fandom, but I pitied the guy because he was opening up to me. I send him a reassuring message and spew out some more positive lingo like, "You're never alone and you're strong for being who you are." Over the next couple months, Benny and I continue talking as he orders more and more commissions from him. Whatever, you guys know what he meant. I added him on Discord and had conversations with him. To be honest, I did it because he seemed like an interesting person to study. It was similar to watching the Elliot Rodger videos I watched back in high school. He had other fetishes other than vor and inflation. He also liked vomit, farts, feet, and armpit licking. He He would also commission more normal artwork, which was usually his persona getting his cheeks clapped by some predatory animal. His artwork always portrayed him as submissive, so I think there is some psychological reasoning behind it. Anyways, after several months, he begins to bring up the idea of how he hates being a worthless human living with his parents. He talked about how he dreams about being his persona and being friends with everyone, and that people would only like him if he was his persona. He told me he cried himself to sleep that the artwork he commissioned from me will never be a reality. I actually got pretty concerned about him. I wanted to tell him that the art was just porn and that it's just a fantasy and that he should recognize that it's just not realistic. But then I got concerned about turning him away from coping with furriness. Benny commissioned me a lot. Every extra dollar he got from work went into another commission. He sent me over 1,000 total and was easily my #1 customer. Now, this abusive relationship I'm detecting here between you and Benny, it reminds me of my good friend Toot. Me and Toot. Oh, I'll keep those delusions going for you, Toot. Just keep the super chats coming, sister. That's right. Shout out Toot. Toot was here earlier. Where were we? Let's see. Settled on telling him that making art is my passion and how everyone tells me that making their artwork make it seem real. It seems to calm him down, and he thanks me again for my latest artwork. Over the next few weeks, he commissions less and less artwork. I peek into his YouTube channel, and lately he talks about digging a hole in the woods. He, for some reason, liked digging holes a lot, as he'd been doing it for years. It didn't really raise any flags. It was just 40-minute videos of shaky cam in the woods, as he occasionally talked about digging and any roots and rocks he found while digging. It was pretty boring, and he only got like 12 views a video, so I feel like it wasn't really anything important. Then one day he tries to call me on Discord. I freeze when this happened because we have only talked through text before. He keeps trying to call me, so I decide to pick up but put myself on mute. When I answer, he's breathing heavily and asks, Anon, are you there? I get scared and hang up because it's clear he has been crying a lot. I send him a text saying, sorry, I can't talk, but ask him what's up. He took a couple minutes, but he eventually sends the message, do you like me? I freeze because I am terrified of the thought of Benny liking me. I don't want him to think that I like him, but I am also a bit worried about him. I spend another few minutes terrified about what I should say when he sends another message. Do you hate me? I spend several minutes wondering what to say, but I eventually decide to say nothing and go inactive. The next day, I check back on the message and see that his account was deleted. Oh! I get worried and check the furry sites. Might be a unique statement. I get worried and check the furry sites. Has anybody said that before? Only to find that all of his accounts are deleted. I even check his YouTube channel and find it deleted. I get really... Man, those digging videos are gone? That's tragic. I even check his YouTube channel. It was deleted. I get real worried and start Googling online obituaries. I know his real name and where he lived because it was attached to his PayPal account that he bought the commissions from. I Googled him, but I didn't find any deaths. I tried to tell myself that he probably is stepping away from the internet and focusing on his mental health. I keep checking in on Benny, trying to find information, but a week later I find him in the obituaries. He committed suicide via overdose 3 days after he sent me those messages on Discord. I go into complete panic mode and start deleting all of my accounts, emails, and anything that was attached to my furry commissions. Why? Why? You didn't... I don't think it's connected. You cannot have responsibility for that just because you're making some AI porn. But I guess he panicked. I'm terrified that they are going to find out about me and that I could go to prison or something. Again, I don't think it's even a misdemeanor what you're doing, but obviously months pass by and nothing bad really happens to me. I do feel like shit because I feel like I took advantage of some poor depressed guy and made a lot of money from him. It sounds horrible to say, but I didn't really start to feel bad for Benny until a couple of months after he died. I was too preoccupied worrying about myself and making money. Looking back, I cringe at the fact that I did very little for Benny when he reached out to me. He told me he didn't have very many friends inside of the fandom, so it's likely I was his only friend. I know he's probably got other shit in his life that could be the reason for his death, but I can't help to feel bad about it. Now, I do have a good amount of money, but I'm kind of feel too guilty to spend any of it. I made a lot of money from the commissions. I don't really want to give away how much, but it's over 10,000. Now, I don't think what I did was super bad because they were spending their own money on the art. And if they didn't know it was AI, does it really matter? I thought it would be funny to scam furries out of money, but furries are mentally unstable a lot of the time, and a lot of them will result to self-harm. So I gotta ask, am I the asshole, or was Benny doomed ever since he started getting turned on by disgusting furry art? I do feel some guilt, sure, but I feel comfortable enough to say that I didn't cause his death, so sorry for clickbait. Well, I think that was the most interesting story so far tonight. And I don't want to ruin the poll. We're going to do a poll. So maybe I shouldn't weigh in yet, but I might have already. Who is the villain here? The narrator or Benny? You guys tell me. And it starts off with a big 78% for Benny. If anything, the narrator being Benny's only friend is just a net positive. It does not give him the responsibility for the other man's life or his death. It just shows, money aside, he was the only one giving him positive attention and support and messages of love. And just because you're not in the mood to respond to psychopaths every single day, it's not your fault. If you don't respond one day and they commit suicide, they're fucking nuts. They're crazy. They're wacko. It is what it is. Yeah, that's the price we pay for being nice to those people, is that we eventually suffer. It happens. 72%. So everything I said made the score. People voted against me, but we'll leave it about that. 71% blame Benny for his own suicide. How did Benny kill himself? We don't know. We just saw his obituary. You think the woman hater got Mason Ellioted? Now, how many people in the chat know who Mason Elliott is and what happened to him? I doubt the woman hater was accused of rape by his own sister, though. Spoiler alert. OP said overdose. Guys, you think I can hear what I'm saying? I'm just reading whatever they wrote, okay? I might miss some details. It's fine. 3 stories in, folks. 3 stories in. Do we want to find out why this guy hates women now? Please don't say my name. Probably should have sent it from an anonymous email, but wow, he sent a shit ton of emails in a row. What's going on here? Okay, so that one's from January 22, and this one's from October's. Okay. And there's a third one. Oh my god, he just keeps going. This dude has a lot of reasons to hate women. A shit ton. Don me too'd me. Oh, did I miss a super chat? Jared Jedi, my bad. Let's go find that. If it'll load. Let's see. He said, can you read mine? I resent it during the stream. So I'm currently in a section of my email called Good, where I previewed stories and made sure that they weren't just complete bullshit, and then I put them in the good thing. So I can't read yours today. I'll have to pre-screen it and put it in the good column for next time. So just have 6 months worth of patience for the next episode. Let's find out why I hate women, also why you shouldn't feel bad about masturbating since society is about to collapse. Okay. Please don't say my name. Also, I'll probably recant on all of this before you read it next Sunday, 3 years from now. Also, I proofread it, so it should be readable. Sean became a member for 8 months. He said, super glad you're doing these again. These are my faves next to the Biggs content. Well, maybe we should get Biggs to just do this for me. It would be Sean's absolute favorite thing. Okay. Afternoon, Simian, everyone. I'm 24 and I'm a kissless, handholdless virgin, and I've decided that I hate women. I was chatting with someone on Bumble the other day. I had deleted and recreated my account not too long ago to try and refresh things with a new profile. It was the first message I'd gotten on there in months, some snide remark about one of my pictures. I replied back with something snide, heard nothing back, then messaged again to ask how her day was. Again, nothing. So I sent a very sad and desperate third text, trying my best to make it not sound so sad and desperate despite the nature of triple texts. I mentioned grabbing boba tea and chatting since boba was something she mentioned on her profile. She said no, she didn't want to go grab some boba, but that I could Grubhub it to her instead. I hate women. I mentioned that this was my second Bumble account. On my first, I had gone a few months on both Bumble and Hinge without any luck, so I, in another sad and desperate act, spent $80 between the two on boosts so that more people would see my profile. Nothing. I knew it was stupid, but I did it anyway. Now I'm $80 poorer with nothing to show for it except the knowledge not to do it again. I had a repressed youth due to growing up in a Christian new religious movement. That is to say, a cult, but more boring. So I didn't have any kind of romantic experiences during school. Such was sinful, and I didn't yet know better that sin, God, and all of that nonsense could be ignored. That said, I don't hold anything against people who believe in God, as I realize my experience with religion was different from most. I am convinced that there is no God, but that's straying from the topic at hand. Anyway, after moving out and leaving the cult, or whatever you want to call it, I imagined that I could enter the dating scene and have at least some success. I'm not tall, but I'm not a manlet. I'm not a 10, but when I clean myself and dress right, I'm at least a 6, maybe even a 7. I'm not rich, but I've got a steady job and I'm working towards a STEM degree. Now, chat, do we believe him? Is OP actually a 7? Yes or no? Do we think the writer of this story, the handholdless virgin of 24 years, is a 7 out of 10 on the attraction scale? Oh, what's that? 100% said no. 100. Okay, now it's at 88, but momentarily we had the funniest result possible, folks. After deleting that first Bumble account, I requested my data from them. They bury it, making you put in a support ticket and wait before getting an email to show you exactly how your profile was doing. I've attached a screenshot, but I'm sure you can believe what I say without checking. Okay, I'm going to scroll down. So we've got some text that says, outgoing yes, 970. So he swiped yes on 970 women. Outgoing no, 1,333. Okay, so he's a little bit picky. He's saying no more than he says yes. Incoming yes, 7. Incoming no, 1,007. So his profile was seen 1,014 times, and it was rejected 1,007 of them. And this resulted in 0 matches. So of the 970 he said yes to, none of them said yes to him. He actually said no to the 7 who said yes to him. That's the story of the data here, folks. Tim Pool for 50. Thank you, Buttered Bread Slice. If only. I'd love to get him on. Got so much to talk about. Okay. He's probably gonna now explain what I just explained. Over the course of a few months, they showed my profile to 1,007 women. Out of 1,007 women, how many swiped right on me? Think a minute. Set up a poll if you want. Well, spoiler alert. And he read the information wrong. They did not show it to 1,007. They showed it to 1,014, and you were rejected 1,007 times. So it's even worse than you're putting it. X Panic. If you heard a fart, that was the chair, but not that I wouldn't fart in front of all you lovely people. XX Panic, member for 7 months, says, bring Biggs and Aggie to Depression Chamber. I want to hear Aggie read these. Me and Aggie, I think, might have read a certain suicide letter together one time. That was pretty close. But maybe next time he's over, you guys can convince me to jump on with him. Anyway, the answer is 7. 7 women. I'd matched with all 7. I only had conversation with 2 of those 7. Okay, that's weird because the thing that he sent me says 0 matches. And both of them wanted me to subscribe to their OnlyFans. Okay, so he matched with 2 bots, it sounds like. The other 5 never messaged me, which probably means they only swiped right on accident. Or they were going to wait for you to offer a Grubhub. Nobody out of over 1,000 women wanted to even talk to me, so why shouldn't I hate women? It's pretty clear that they hate me. Call it a cope or a seethe or whatever you want to call it, but that's just the facts. With the exception of my mother, what has any woman ever done for me? I look back and the answer is nothing. Outside of this, my life is fine. Like I said, I've got a job and I'm building towards a degree that should lead to a better job, but you know how that is. I've got hobbies and friends. All 3 of these groups, job, friends, hobbies, are male-dominated, which might be for the best since I've reached this conclusion. It's just women. Fuck them. Sounds like, now hear me out, being gay might be good for you. You love all these male-dominated, you don't want to see women, you hate them. You might have to trick your brain a little bit, but at this point, it's either loneliness or that. Trans women, fuck you too. Trans men, get in here, you're all right. So he would still fuck Ellen Page, also known as Elliot Roger Page, which is a choice. Not one I would make. Get in here, you're all right. Non-binary folks, I'll tolerate it, but you're on thin fucking ice. When I watch porn, it has to be degrading to women. Yeah, it sounds like you might hate women. It's not enough for them to show themselves begging for attention. I won't go into the lurid details, thank God, because somebody else tonight did. But you can imagine it. It's drawn preferably because even if a real woman degraded herself for us anonymous men, she still wouldn't be worthy of my attention. That's just how much I hate women. The obvious answer to this problem, ignoring the fact that my father would disown me, would to be become gay. Hey, good idea. But I've been watching your videos on and off for years now and still haven't had a gay awakening like that one guy had. If it's reliant on being attracted to me, most people would be asexual. Don't base it on me. So it's probably not going to happen. I can't become gay any more than a tiger can change its stripes. I'm straight, and that's just the way it is. Well, I'm glad that this story that I previewed and forgot the details of is responding to what I had to say earlier. Woe is me, and he spelled it the funny way. So thank you. WOAH. Liquid Dave, member for 10 months. Did you know that Tim Pool is now a father? Time to congratulate Uncle Reactor. I literally did not know that. And I hope Reactor is being a good uncle. Hopefully better than my Uncle Alex. We don't need to get into that. Maybe I'll write a story one day. Those who know. Anyway, masturbation. After every time you do it, you feel like shit, or at least says that one short film in the festival with all the jars. Damn, we're getting a lot of members in a row, folks. Oh my God, the Measly Crew is coming out. Or the Measly Few. Crew is on the other channel. Eric Rodriguez says, is Bazinga Boys dead? And if so, when are we getting the Malcolm in the Middle podcast? They are filming right now the Malcolm in the Middle reboot or like a bonus movie or some episodes. I don't know. Hopefully most of them are going to show up. We don't know about Dewey, but we will 1000% be podcasting about that. Even if we don't go through Malcolm proper, I guarantee you the exact moment that shit drops, I'm watching it and podcasting about it, no matter who's around. RKO Fan 300, member for 10 months. If that smoke detector has a fresh 9 volt, hold the test button for 11 seconds. If it's dead, get a new one. Or don't. I don't personally mind. What was my smoke detector flashing a light in the background of the new video? It does, when I cook with the pan and there's a lot of smoke, since it's so damn close to the stove, it does go off like every time I fucking cook. And it's not like beeping throughout the day like it has low battery, so I think it's okay. It might just be lighting up because it's pissed that I keep blowing smoke into it, but yeah, there's no chirping here, Sean. If there was a chirp, I would fucking replace it, but until it's chirping, who cares? Anyway, and honestly, if I know it's working because I fucking set it off every day, so where was I? I need to stop eating so many steaks is the problem. That's what really gets the house smoky. The only reason you feel bad after masturbation is because society has conditioned you to feel bad. Imagine if you could satisfy hunger by rubbing your stomach or thirst by rubbing your throat. Society would collapse. That's why we're propagandized against masturbation. Most of us have moved beyond Jesus is watching you touch yourself, but the stigma remains. Shouldn't you be doing it with a real woman? Did the feds investigate me over Russell Isabel? No, that's a good book. And I'd stand by that. And also I wrote it when I was in high school, so I'm double proud of it. Imagine if you could... Okay, we read that. The machine needs people to feed on. That's why you're conditioned against masturbation. You must fall in line, have kids, and raise them to be perfect little tin soldiers. And even become a perfect little tin soldier yourself. Because now you're controllable. You have something dear to you now. Something you're tied to. Something that can be taken away. There's nothing wrong with that, if that's the way you want to live. But there's nothing wrong with rejecting it either. You don't have to be a slave to pussy, or a dick for that matter. The path to liberation is in your hand. Thoughts on Rusty saying you won't reply to your text? Me and Rusty have been talking, back and forth plenty, so I don't check this or check Twitter. I shared his new video. He made an epic skydiving vlog, and I shared it because he's my good friend. And I think he either reposted my share or he liked it, so... Me and Rusty are still best buds. I can't believe he would say that. Oh, did I miss your super chat, anti-piracy? I'm sorry. Where'd he go? I don't see it. I'll double check at the end, but I don't see it if you did send one and I missed it. Anyway, we need to finish this story. Why would you want kids anyway, despite the natural instinct? Society is collapsing. Anyone can see it. If climate doesn't get us, nukes will. And if nukes don't get us, we'll find another way to destroy ourselves. Just look at the young people. IQ scores are dropping like a rock, reversing decades of progress in a single generation. Look up Flynn Effect and Gen Z. iPad kids are going to be everywhere, and they'll be nearly illiterate. Sorry, Jimmy, but the brain rot is terminal. Our society is not going to make it. Sure, there will be survivors. There's always survivors, but maybe our society needs to die and go away to make room for a new, better society. A more just society to be built in its place. But is that what you want to send your kids out into? I guess I don't have to worry about it. In conclusion, my advice to everyone is become ungovernable. Life is inherently meaningless, so live how you want. That's a very powerful speech to give in favor of why you like to masturbate and why you don't want to be ashamed of it. Shame is a very personal thing. So, like, you could just jerk off, and then if you don't feel guilty, you don't even have to tell a single person about it. Not one. Let's do a poll. Do we like this guy who hates women? Do we hate the woman hater? Guys, Do you want me to prove that me and Rusty are best friends? I will literally call him on speakerphone right now. I don't give a single fuck. It's the Depression Chamber. Okay? AKA the Friendship Simulator. I'll call him right the fuck now. And it looks like 63% of people hate the author. I'll call him. I don't care. The problem is, once he answers, then I have to talk to him. Like, calling him's easy. It's talking to him that sucks. Do we think Rusty's awake at 6:22? Yo, Rusty.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, I'm live on the Depression Chamber. They told me to call you.
Oh, today, alright.
They don't believe that we're still friends, Rusty. They think that your suicide impacted us.
I don't know, man. I think it kind of did.
It's just, you know, I feel like from a moral standpoint, to fake your death like that. I mean, I fell for it hook, line, and sinker, and it really hurt me deep.
No, I didn't fake anything. What happened was a series of unfortunate events, which led to a long hiatus and an unfortunate resurrection. And I don't know where this whole fakery thing is coming from, but I'm sorry that you were impacted by it.
It hurt my soul, Rusty. Like the thought that I lost you, and now I have to like have you back after I've grieved you.
Well, all right, I get it. So you pretty much gave up on me, and you said you went through your own therapy sessions, and you let me go.
Well, I explained what happened to the therapist, and they agreed that, like, on a moral level, you're probably not a good person, and it's maybe for the better if I don't associate with you.
You know what I think this is actually like? You've seen Castaway, haven't you?
Yeah, I think we've talked about Castaway many times.
What's that lady in it? What's her name?
Wilson.
No, not the one he was fucking.
Yeah.
His ex-wife.
Mrs. Hanks.
Yeah, so when he got off of the island and came back, it was too late, and she had to move on. She already got remarried and started a whole new life.
Yep.
In which
is that what happened to you? You came back and yeah, everything you knew and loved was replaced.
Yes, including you, monkey.
Yeah, I found a new friend who's good at music.
Did you? Shit.
Eggy's probably better than you at this point.
Well, yeah, I am a little out of practice. It has been quite some time. I gotta rebuild the calluses on my fingers and the small muscles in my forearms to play piano and whatnot.
Do you ever go out and play with the guillotine, or is it kind of just to look at?
Actually, I used it maybe 2 weeks ago. This guy, Wrecking Ball, I don't know if you know him, he's like a skateboarder. He's a terrorist in the skateboarding community. And he came out here to chop something, which I'll be posting
is bored?
about that. Well, no, I don't. Actually, could it cut through a skateboard?
Probably not.
I don't know, actually. But, no, everything was still up and running. I mean, I got the blade hooked up, and surprisingly, it's weathered a little bit, but still seems fully functional. I'm looking at it right now, actually, as I lament.
You think maybe just do it again?
Well, yeah, they say second time's the charm.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the thing about coming to life after you die is realizing no one really cares.
Yeah, your big comeback is kind of like, we liked it better when you were dead.
Yeah.
Like, your legacy would have been better if you stayed dead after that, and now it's like, then he tried, Nostalgia Critic came back again after he killed it off.
Yeah, pretty much. Wait, the Nostalgia Critic, did he quit?
He did, and then everybody didn't like his new shit, so he brought it back.
What was his new shit?
It's like a game show.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, people love hating on any new thing that you do, no matter what. Especially with someone called the Nostalgia Critic. Of course, they're going to have nostalgia for his older content. But
Well, Alan Dillon in the chat says he enjoyed your new skydiving video.
well, that's good. I'm definitely trying to get this new channel up and running, the Rusty Cage Show. It's, I'll be able to post more videos now that I'm not having to build a guillotine every time.
Or be
I want to
dead.
get like a series done, or be dead, right? Which are quite hefty on the production side of things. So, well, it's back to square one. It feels good though. Building a small channel up. I think I have like 18,000 subscribers, so I feel like a young, spry content creator once more. Trying to pull my way up through the ranks.
But when I watched your skydiving video, and it has, I assume, over 50 hours worth of effort put into it, doesn't it kind of hurt your soul to put it up on a small channel like that?
Yes, but
Yeah.
It's like pulling the Band-Aid off of the wound. Where the old channel, the main channel, the Rusty Cage channel, has gone through, as you know, and as you're very familiar with. These channels can get poisoned, and there can be some internal things happening on the website that can affect your channel, whether or not they outright say it. I mean, you saw this whenever the Monkey Jones channel got taken down, and they followed you around, and they were deleting all of your other stuff. So you knew that there was internal shit going on. There were some sort of flags on your name or on your account or whatever, where they could link all of your stuff together.
So you think the main channel of yours is kind of just like poisoned permanently?
Wait, say that
You
again?
think your channel's poisoned permanently and you need to start a new one?
Yeah, I think the whole thing with all the self-harm warnings over the years, things related to the Rogers case that, got a few of my videos taken down, as well as your channel taken down, and a lot of other stuff, probably has not been helping it out over the past 15 years, and it's just been accumulating. Along with, when you start a channel early on and you're doing completely different content over the years, you have fans that might stay subscribed, and they're just kind of dead subscribers, and that kind of hurts in the algorithm whenever they feed your channel out to your subscribers, and then only a smaller portion are actually consuming the content rather than the entirety of your subscriber base. So it's almost like culling the herd a little bit. You have to start over fresh, rebuild the audience.
Wouldn't it be nice if there was an option on YouTube to purge dead subscribers? Like if they have not clicked on my shit in a year, just fucking go. Get rid of it. If only.
Yeah, like, sure. I would easily delete 1 million subscribers from the main channel if I thought that would be a healthy way of, being able to still post my content on there. But there's other things as well. I make music as well as these long form videos, so it no longer works the way it used to, where you could upload a 3-minute music video next to a 25-minute video that has relatively nothing to do with music. The algorithm doesn't know how to feed your content, or they don't know who to serve your content to, because it's all over the place. So that was another aspect of splitting the channels up, is I'm going to make the Rusty Cage channel just a music channel. I don't know if that's a good idea, or if the poisoning will still fuck with that as well, but I guess we'll see. It's a challenge going forward.
When is the next Rusty Cage Show live stream?
I don't know, sometime this week. I'm working on the next video now. Kind of a return to a format of Rusty Responds as intermediate videos. I can't jump out of an airplane every single time.
Can't turn your vacation footage into content every week.
No, listen.
I want Cage Tech to send you to Japan.
Go there. If they did, I would have to. I would hope that they would send me somewhere that's, not just vacation spots. Like, send me back to the suicide forest.
Would you go to like South Sudan for a video for the bit?
What's going on in South Sudan? I know very little about Sudan, but it just sounds like a place that's constantly fucked up.
Well, think of a shitty place and then go south, and it's even shittier. It's South Sudan. Like Sudan 1 was bad enough.
Well, so it's either going to South Sudan or doing cave exploration. Which I'm not sure if that's something I want to do yet.
Like, there's some caves in the Midwest. Maybe we can meet up and do a collab there, and we could get lost in the caves.
Yeah, and then I'll rely on you to have to pull me by my feet as I'm stuck.
Oh my, yeah, go to like Nutty Putty Cave and crawl through the shit.
Yeah, let's go. Let's fucking root through that guy's pockets.
If Cage Tech makes you crawl through a cave like that, I might have to become a patron again. I don't know. That's insane.
Dude, I don't know, man. That shit fucking terrifies me.
It's the scariest shit in the world.
I know. It's the worst possible way to die.
Yeah.
Upside down and for several days. Dude, these dads will do shit like take their 3 sons into these caves for their birthday or something as some sort of bonding experience. And it ends with the dad stuck until he fucking suffocates or has a heart attack. And his kids are just panicking trying to get help. What a terrible father.
Especially if he's like at the back of the pack and, you know, if he gets stuck, then everybody else is also stuck. Like, that's what I hate about those narrow tunnels with a whole group, is that if one person is fucked, you're all trapped and dead.
Right.
Those people are nuts. I gotta go pee, so I'm gonna end the stream real quick. But Rusty, next time you need a co-host, I'll call into the Rusty Cage Show. That's my promise right here live in front of everybody.
All right, good, cool. I'm going to make that work. I'm going to get the technology figured out, and I look forward to seeing you on the show.
Okay, see you. And I'll see you folks later, too. I'll read these super chats real quick, but that coffee wants to come out. Sean for 5 said this Rusty call has been the best story all night. Salty says, is Rusty still working on the new album? I believe he is from last time I talked to him. Well, not that time, but the time before. And Salty also says, go to Venezuela. Yeah, I'll give Rusty the note. Okay, folks, we made it happen. Depression Chamber happened. Talking to Rusty happened. I'm going on his shitty show. It all worked out. Thank you to everybody for tuning in and the super chats and all the new members. We got a lot of renewed membership subscriptions tonight. The measly few, the measly crew. Go check out Monkey D. Jones for our One Piece podcast. If you want to see the survival guides again, they're being posted on the Simian Jimmy channel. There's a new monkey box coming out next week. And the opening episodes of season 1 of Vincent's Atheist Reviews are in production. 3 scripts are finished. The 4th is halfway done. I think that's it, folks. Bye, everybody.